said this in public in 1,000 speeches. You cannot fix the price problem in healthcare
until
with price controls, Canada, Medicare negotiations. None of that is going to work. The reason is the underlying economic system of healthcare is from the 50s.
right.
Every other sector of the economy has a derivative market to protect against price shocks and to bring prices down and to make price setting a transparent process, which does not exist in
Not at
healthcare.
all.
If you put a derivative system in place for healthcare, you get visible supply and demand, transparent price setting, the ability to hedge future increases or future loss of revenue, and everybody can make the same margin they're making now at a lower price
Oh,
because they have a place to hedge.
oh my gosh. People are going to watch this and think, I said, if I didn't say punch me in the face, like it seems like I was prepared for that answer just because I knew this was what you had in your back pocket. I had no idea. Didn't know you like, oh my gosh, this was the most eye-opening thing. That's absolutely genius. And for people that, may be like, well, everyone just wants bottom dollar and how do we know they'll be transparent? Just so I make it clear, at that point, you want to be transparent because that's how you're able to get like hedge and do your derivatives. At that point, suddenly it's
Exactly.
incentivized to be transparent because that has a direct relation to you mitigating your risks of like these price changes. And so
Exactly.
everything's self-satisfied. And I always said that, with healthcare and stuff, I'm like, at the end of the day, there's imperfect systems across the world. And I'm like, once you accept that it's imperfect, whatever the powers that may be, whatever the incentives are, once you understand that, you still make it work for what you're trying to achieve, like which is give good care, this and that. This is that thing. Even if you say, the biggest argument would be like, well, nobody's going to act like altruistically. It's not altruistic. You're not offering anything
No,
that's altruistic or any more like, ethical. You're just
it's economic self-interest.
right. It's just you're just making it to where all of a sudden the transparency is the collateral benefit for all of us and cheaper costs. It doesn't necessarily make the powers that be, any and that. But that's what you have to do. That's the only way to fix it is to do something like that, to accept what it is, and then find a way to make it, downstream something that benefits us as individuals. Wow.
That's right. And people say, well, will this affect poor people badly or rural hospitals badly? And I remind them, when you walk into a grocery store, every product in that grocery store is the subject of a futures trade.
Yeah.
The wheat in the Kellogg's, the meat in the counter, the milk, the vegetables, they are all products that live and die on the futures market because people need to know in agriculture what they're going to get paid. And if they have a better year, they lose a little money, but if they have a worse year, they don't lose the money.
Right.
So they're willing to make the trade-off, right? So everything in the grocery store, the problem with grocery stores in COVID wasn't the price. It was the availability because of supply chain disruption.
Right.
It wasn't because people were gouging prices, there was no food. It was because they couldn't get from farm to market.
Hmm.
So in healthcare, the reason we have all these high prices is people have nowhere to hedge. And so the only hedge is to raise your
Right.
prices.
It's in real time. Everything has to behave in real time and real time bills. I got this thing to pay this, today. This is what I have to do to make the ends meet because it's not anything prospective. It's all like it's just I depend on this today, and if I don't get it, I'm screwed for lack of a
I'm
better term.
toast.
Yeah.
And I know we can reduce the cost 15% immediately because we can get rid of the pharmacy benefit managers
That
who add 15% of cost for no benefit to the
I had no
patient,
idea what
zero
15% of
benefit
cost
to the
I could
patient.
serve.
So once we get rid of the middlemen, which we can do with this system, and to democratize the future of healthcare, let's say you're Pfizer and you need $1 billion to make a new drug. Right now, they have to go borrow that money or take it out of their bank. It's lost opportunity
Yeah.
cost. What if they issued $1 billion note and it says, if you invest in this note to help us develop this drug and it fails, we will give you your principal back. But if it succeeds, you will get a royalty on the future profits of this drug. What does that mean? Well, it means that Pfizer can lower their cost of capital, which means they can lower their price and still make the same margin.
Right.
And it means that if you get enough of these notes together with institutional investors, you bundle these notes, Pfizer, Glaxo, Bristol, whatever, you bundle them into an exchange traded note that you can put on the market and the average investor can invest in it.
Oh my
So I could invest
God.
in the next leukemia drug, and if it works, I'm going to get a royalty, which I will use to pay for the drug.
It's like it's like a blockchain of like NFT, like the actual like subscribership of like what you're investing in specifically to a running log, and it's almost like at the same time a guild of where everyone has a common like goal, even though they have their individual ones within the company. And you can, I think it would actually facilitate more collaboration than anything else because you could just trade, you could trade these notes and invest.
Yes. And it means people can invest in their own disease.
Right.
So if you want to buy a Tesla, you may invest first in Tesla and see if you can make some money, good luck, and then buy the car. But if you have cancer and you want to invest in the company that's making the drug for you so you can make money when they make money, that's not how it works. You have to buy Pfizer, which is a dividend stock,
Right.
and is affected by the CEO making a mistake or the board firing somebody. What you want is to know, I'm invested in the drug that's going to save my life, and if it does well, I can use that profit to buy the drug for myself.
My mind is repeatedly blown. I have no more mind to blow. This is crazy. It really is a blockchain of like somewhat NFTs,
Yeah,
but also the
blockchain
stock
would be
market put
critical. Yeah,
together. That's absolutely
it would
insane.
definitely be a blockchain thing, but the difference between this and crypto is that this matters.
Yeah, yeah.